It began as a fairly modest idea conceived by the Secretariat of the Pacific Community SPC's member countries in the mid-1960s. And it captured the attention and spirit of the region with its first staging in Fiji in 1972. From those early roots, the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture, also known as FOPA, has grown in leaps and bounds, with the later inclusion of other Pacific Island nations like Rapa Nui, Norfolk Islands and Hawaii. The festival is now easily recognized as the biggest celebration of Pacific Island heritage.
The concept came about through what was at the time the South Pacific Commission, and through conference gatherings in the late 60s or mid-60s to late 60s. There was a lot of discussion about bringing all the countries together around a festival. So that's all in the archives. It's very interesting reading through that material, because I think originally there was some mention of having ballet and opera or those kinds of things. Obviously that changed very quickly.
Every 4 years, thousands gather to participate and witness our unique and diverse cultures and traditions. But all the energy and life displayed on stage is actually the result of years of hard work carried out behind the scenes. In 2014, the 26th Council of Pacific Arts and Culture meeting was hosted at the Balanimbose in Suva, Fiji. 2 years since the successful staging of the 11th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture in Solomon Islands, the gathering provided an opportune platform to discuss, among other matters, lessons learned from the host nation.
Capturing the moment. Once it comes and it goes, and if you don't capture that moment, then it goes for good. So I think it's to make it a little bit more in-depth and outward, a kind of documentation of the festival. I think that is very, very important, because some of the stuff that was shown during the festival are very rare, and they don't occur anytime and every time, and they don't go out, they don't show them for tourists. They show them purposely for very important occasions. So those are the things that we need to catch while they are happening.
Celebrating over 40 years, the festival has built a legacy of fostering cultural preservation, peace building, and an appreciation of the unique heritage of Pacific Islanders. But as acknowledged by the Pacific Island representatives at the meeting, the exercise is not without its fair share of challenges.
Two important areas are the preparatory, the lead up to the actual festival itself, and of course the post. And this is one of the two areas that we are focusing on in terms of the improvements to the festival. In terms of preparatory, number one is the bidding process. Because what we want to do is basically spread out the festival to all the Pacific nations. So we go by regions: Polynesia, Melanesia, and Micronesia. and then countries can actually bid or send in a tender to actually host the festival, given that they have the necessary resources to pursue this. More than often we are so reliant on budgetary provisions by the national governments themselves, and we want to move away from this and make the festival more oriented towards the artists and those who make a livelihood from these sort of celebrations.
One of the mechanisms identified to help strengthen the festival organization and experience was the development of a manual for host nations and participating contingents.
On their models, on how they dealt with...
Currently in draft form, the guideline draws insight from the Olympic and Pacific Games models and is divided into 3 key sections.
So the first section talks about the history of the festival, the guiding values and principles and ethics of the Council of Pacific Arts and Culture. It takes the host country through timelines, and so gives them milestones as to their preparation times, what they should be looking at, 6 years ahead, 4 years ahead, to right down to 6 months ahead of the festival. Then there's a host country template, which is for the actual host country. So it gives them guidelines and steps on how to create their own internal operations manual. And then the third component, there's 29 appendices, and these are all technical areas, so accreditation, transport. So in the future, the aim is to develop those appendices into technical manuals.
With an 11th successful staging of the Festival of Pacific Arts under its belt, the Council's attention now turns to the North Pacific. Hawaii has been part of the FOPA since the second festival, which was staged in 1976. At the meeting in Suva, it made a successful bid to host the 2020 festival on its renowned shores.
We feel that this is a good time for Hawaii to make a bid to host the festival, so that number one, we can reciprocate that great hospitality, so that the people of the Pacific can come to our shores and be greeted. And also, this is a time of rebuilding our nation in Hawaii and trying to bring our people together as one, and to having the festival will give us a platform and a reason to come together to practice our culture, for our young people to learn some of the skills that our elders have while they are still with us. O ke kahi koe a hiki wa I o lila e. O ke kahi koe a hiki wa I o lila e. I would really like to thank the SPC and the Council of Pacific Arts and Festival for giving us this great honor and opportunity to showcase Hawaii to all of the Pacific. We are quite far away from everyone, and we are very much westernized, but we want our cousins to be able to experience our deep, rich culture that still exists in Hawaii, that you can't see on the internet, that you can't see when you fly in and fly out. And we want to be able to have that opportunity for them to see who we are, where we come from, and how closely to them we are connected.
Neighboring Guam will stage the upcoming 12th Festival of Pacific Arts in 2016. The council meeting in Fiji also provided the opportunity for the hosts to provide an update midway through its preparation phase.
Guam is very honored and excited to host the 12th Festival of Pacific Arts. I think our biggest challenge for Guam is that maybe logistic-wise, infrastructure-wise, that's not really a worry. But I think because we are so westernized, it's really all about getting our people to come together and really take pride in our culture and make them understand what the festival is all about, so that way we can come together as one and host everyone. But, with our hospitality and the way the Chamorro people are, we don't anticipate that being a problem. But, it's just a matter of educating our people.
So the festival is, of course, it's about performing arts, about visual arts, about bringing artists together from throughout the region, but it's also about revival, protection of traditional knowledge, expressions of culture, and it's a forum now where there's a lot of discussion about whether it's about cultural industries. So all sort of emerging issues in the culture sector come up through the festival.
The 12th Festival of Pacific Arts, which will take place from May 22nd to June 4th, 2016, will center around the theme What We Own, What We Have, What We Share, United Voices of the Pacific.
This is the opportunity for not only the Chamorros and the Guamanians on Guam to share our culture, but it's an opportunity to showcase and share with other countries too, as well as our visitors too. So we'll see you all in 2016.